Hi, I'm Lee Partridge and welcome back to Col U TV. It's our midweek show and we've got plenty to look at ahead of our first home game here for a few weeks. We was hoping to be bringing you the positive news of the under-18s in the FA Cup, but their game against Cambridge United was postponed yesterday evening, of course, due to weather conditions. We'll bring you all the details of when that's being rearranged soon as we can. Right, first, let's take a look at our opponents for Saturday with a preview of Salford City. Salford are coming into this game having not played since the 3rd of December due to the weather that we've had over the last couple of weeks. The last game they played was against Gillingham. They managed to beat the Gills 3-0 with all the goals coming in an explosive second half from the Amis. Goals from Theo Vassell, Ryan Watson and Callum Hendry was enough to get past Gillingham, and they come into this game sitting 9th in the Sky Bet League 2 table with a game in hand on 8th place Swindon Town, while being just 2 points away from the playoff places. A player to look out for is Ryan Watson. The midfielder has managed 4 goals so far this season, including this brilliantly worked goal against Crawley Town in October. The last time we met Salford was in January of this year, winning 3-0. In fact, the 6 times that we've played Salford, we've only lost once. So let's hope we can keep that winning streak going on Saturday. So plenty of danger men for us to look out for, and I'm sure that Matt will have his side well and truly prepped and ready for the weekend's test. Speaking of the U's head coach, here's the thoughts of Matt ahead of the Salford game on Saturday.
Matt, some frustrating results over the last couple of weeks, but you're back at home in front of the home fans this weekend, and we know how good the home form has been since you've been here, so you must be pleased and looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we really are. Actually, many aspects of the last 2 games I've been pleased with. Apart from the decision at the end of the Mansfield game, we fully deserved our point there, and obviously Saturday we made a lot of opportunities for ourselves without creating clear-cut chances. We got into a lot of good areas and didn't make full use of them. So in 2 games where there's been not a lot in it, we've come away with nothing, where we believe on another day we could have picked up something from those games. But as you say, our home form's been good. We've really enjoyed playing at home since I've been in the building, so we're looking forward to the game next weekend. How
do you shake off those frustrations? Because like you say, the performances have still been good. It's just those little decisions and those fine margins that we've talked about before, where it's just the odd goal in games still. How do you just put that to one side and keep going? Because it must get to you a bit, the fact that you are so close. Yeah, well, I've had
this my second letter from the referees apologising for decisions. That's 2 I've received now. One AFC Wimbledon, one from Mansfield. So that's obviously played a big part in those 2 results, and we can't get away from that. It's frustrating. But one thing I've learned about life and football is you just have to keep getting up and keep getting on. It doesn't matter how many times I get knocked down. I'll keep getting back up and keep moving forward. I really believe that performances have improved in my time here. I really believe that we've been in every game, but it does get frustrating. But I try and watch the game back on a Saturday evening or a Sunday with unemotional eyes, just to watch it for what it is. And that's win, lose or draw, by the way. I think in many ways we've played just as well at spells of the games we've lost as we did in the games that we've won. There's small margins in so many games in League 1, League 2, the Championship, and you have to make sure those margins go for you. We don't want to be victims of bad decisions. We don't want to be victims of small margins going against us. We want to be winners, and that's what we want to do. But we have to make sure that we keep focusing on the process. We need an identity about ourselves, a culture and environment that we're proud of, as I've spoken about before, which is coming, by the way. And there's been lots of examples of that over the last couple of weeks that I've been really, really proud about, because the results are just an outcome of your everyday actions, and that's what we have to stick to in Victoria, and that's what we're trying to do. But like I reiterate the point, we don't want to be victims of small margins, we don't want to be victims of bad decisions. We want to be winners, and that's what we have to keep focusing on.
Salford are the visitors on Saturday. They're a side that have established themselves in League Two over the past few years, having risen up the ranks. I'm sure they'd probably like to be higher, but what are you expecting the challenge of them to be on Saturday?
Yeah, really well run team. Neil Wood is a really respected coach, obviously with his background, and I really admire and respect the way that he's got his team playing. They like to control the ball, they like to play through the thirds. We know about their threat, having Smith up front as well, who's obviously played in real good level, Championship, League One, League Two, and we know the threat that they've got by playing into him as well. So we're preparing for all facets of what they're going to give us. But we also know what we're about, and we're really establishing a little bit of an identity for ourselves and a way that we want to play. So whilst we're aware of the threats that they bring and we respect that fully, as I've said every week before our games, we also concentrate on ourselves and making sure that we can show ourselves in the best light.
Two of your more experienced players on Saturday ended up injured, and particularly hard to watch Alan Judge be taken off the pitch. Is there any news on how him and Col U are?
Yeah, Alan's bad news. Unfortunately, he's got a bad knee injury. I'm absolutely gutted for Judgy. His level of intensity in his training, and I think his performance level since we've been in the building, his hunger and desire has been really good. And I'm absolutely gutted for him. You know, one of the contributing factors to the goal was the fact that he was laying in the middle of the 6-yard box with his knee in a real not good condition, and he's still trying to defend and head the ball away. And my heart goes out to him at the moment because it's not good news with regards to his knee. So that's not great. And like I say, my thoughts are with him at the moment. He needs to find the strength to do his rehab and get himself going again. But I really feel for Judgy. Yeah.
And Col U, hoping that was just something that you just needed to be cautious about on Saturday? Yeah,
Scousey's taken a knock on Saturday again. We had to take him off early in the game, so that was sort of 2 substitutions we had to make before half time. We're taking Scousey day by day, and we're hopeful that he might be able to play a part on Saturday.
And as I say, 2 of your most experienced players there. You do have a big squad. You do have those options, and even with those 2 or with Skews, depending on how that goes, you still have difficult decisions to make. If you look at the side you had on Saturday, the squad you had on Saturday, there are still people who are going to be disappointed and left out.
Yeah, most certainly. I think competition for places is really important, but also what I don't want to do is be chopping and changing too much, and I think there's a real strength with a little bit of consistency and a little bit of continuity with your team. So we don't want to be chopping and changing too much every week, depending on results. A lot of that needs to be based on performance, as I've said before. So it's good to have that competition for places, but we've also got to be mindful of the fact that we don't want to make too many changes week in, week out.
We'll bring you the full interview of that one and the thoughts of a player on Saturday's pre-match show. We'll also be taking a look at how we fared against Salford in previous encounters. So Saturday will be our last action before Christmas, and we'll be hoping it's as positive as it was the last time we was here against Doncaster. Let's take a look at those goals again. Always great to see those 3 fantastic strikes. Let's hope we can put in a similar performance and get a similar result of what will be a valuable 3 points in front of home fans at the weekend. That's almost it for now. Remember, it's the final Christmas shopping event tomorrow night here at Col U, and tickets for our next few matches can be purchased online at Col U Tickets. If you can't make it to the game on Saturday, you can watch along on iFollow, and that goes for each of our remaining games this year. If you want to contact us for anything here at the media team, do email us, media@colchesterunited.net. We'll leave you with some highlights from the last encounter with Salford, a marvellous 3-0 win. Enjoy your week, and I'll be back on Saturday for a pre-match show. Until then, it's goodbye for now.
This side!